Hello, hello, welcome everybody. My name is Sidra Jafri, and today we have gathered here to celebrate our visionary Miss Sidra Jafri's birthday, 17th of June. A truly, really special day for me. I'm sure that whoever is listening or you guys can relate to it, that Sidra has created a great impact on our lives. And on her birthday, what is a better way to honor her than to actually just revisit some of the tools and techniques to live a more awakened life that she has presented to us or given it to us. My favorite quote by Sidra actually is that no amount of prayer can turn your wood into a table, except you pick up the tools and carve a table yourself. And I so much believe that. And this is what we believe at Key Light Center as well, because life, when we want to manifest something, when we want to achieve something, we sit down and we write all the intentions, but we forget to do the work. And I think this Sidra's saying and this Sidra's quote actually remind us that how important it is to actually work towards your goal. Just a little bit about Sidra Jafri. Sidra Jafri was a visionary at heart. She's the one who dedicated a really big chunk of her life towards awakening people, researching human behavior, and finding out what tools and what techniques work for a human being to live a more conscious and a more aware life. I'm so excited to be doing. A couple of years ago, if I were even last year for that matter, it's been the grief has been so much, and I don't know what happened this year. Something incredibly shifted inside of me, and I thought that, all right, I am going to dedicate my life to make sure that I keep talking about Sidra's principle, her tools, and her techniques, and gathering more information and really, truly empower people so they can make their own decision. Sidra's tagline was the past, live the present, and create the future. And I kid you not, as time has progressed, how much more and more I have started believing in it. All right, so first things first, the format of this show is going to be that I have picked out some of my favorite quotes by Sidra that have really inspired me over this last year. I'm just going to put it out there, give you guys a gentle reminder what these quotes are all about. We are also going to talk about her tool, ABC. So we'll do a little group process for ABC. And thirdly, we will end our webinar by playing Sidra's meditation called Receiving Love. And as the time goes by, I'll tell you why I specifically picked this meditation. All right, everyone. So the first quote that I really love by Sidra is actually the one that I was just talking about. And the quote goes, intention without action is delusion. No amount of prayer can turn your wood into a table, except you pick up the tools and you really start working with them. I just mentioned this quote. And when I woke up in the morning, this quote was constantly ringing in my head because I think if somebody needs to hear this quote or work towards it, it's definitely me, because a lot of times that's what I do. And my life, and this quote actually came into my life back in 2020, November. After Sidra's crossing in March 2020, I found myself in a hospital with a rapid heartbeat in May 2020. And when I went in, the ambulance took me and they did all the tests. I was so sure that I was having a heart attack. But when they do all the tests, they realize that, oh, it's just my thyroid is acting up. And the doctor sat down with me and told me that this thyroid is also, it's very much related to the stress level because it was fluctuating. Sometimes it would go up and down and up and down. It was a chaos. They gave me some medication with a prescription for a whole year and also asked me to go get my blood tested every 2 weeks. It was extremely frustrated during the COVID times and the grief was so strong. I won't lie to you. I didn't even had any thought about, opening up any of Sidra's information on thyroid. Then comes November, I started to, start coming back to life a little bit more. And that's when this quote, when I Googled it, and I kid you not, I wrote, what is my body saying to me? And for some reason, this quote shows up. And I truly believe that nothing in this life is a coincidence. Everything is planned. It's just about our vision. It's about how we are perceiving that specific situation. And that's exactly what happened. When this quote came up, I took it as a sign and then I started looking into it. I'll tell you what, while Sidra was in her physical body before 2020, it was there's a saying in say that पका पकाया मिल जाता है. So which means that the food was already cooked. Sidra would do all the research, she would do all the work, and every time she'll see me lacking or not doing things or not taking actions, and I would call her saying that, hey, life is not working out. She'd knock some sense into me. She'd be like, okay, get up, apply the tools, do this, do that. But after 2020 March, I just literally had no one pushing me or telling me, hey, 1 second, let's find out what's happening energetically. So anyway, so when November comes along, I decided that I'm going to start working on myself. And I kid you not, from November 2020 to all the way, I think somewhere around March 2022, I was dilly-dallying. I would do all the affirmations. I even picked up the Louise Hay. I picked up 7 Steps, which is Sidra's book of talking, listening to your body. And I would do the homework. I'm doing the journaling and I'm doing the affirmations and I'm doing the meditations. And the thyroid levels are, they are actually fluctuating still on a little slower note. So my medication is not getting shifted very quickly, but they are still not optimum. They're still not where I could see that, okay, I do have total control over this part of my body. And then that's when I realized that, oh my God, I'm not taking action towards it. So I'm doing the meditations, I'm taking the medication, but I'm not digging deep in. I'm not taking action towards what is causing me that pain, what's causing me the issue. And I kid you not, that when I started combining the both things, I started taking action towards managing my stress by becoming aware of how my emotions are. When is the grief wave the highest? There's specific months that and I don't know how it works. And when I talk to people, the more I talk to people, actually, I understand it better, that with grief, everybody has a really different cycle. And that was mine. And in order for me to work on my physical body, to get this thyroid issue fixed, I had to really, really watch out what my emotions are, what is going on in my body from an emotional front. Were my emotions high? When I was grief stricken, was the thyroid hormone high or low? I really sat down and I did the work. And I kid you not, today, 2023, I'm off the medication. And even my doctor was saying that it's, people take about 4 or 5 years to get off this condition. So when you combine your intention with action, and not just superficial action, not just, doing the journaling and the affirmation, but truly actually sit with yourself and ask yourself that, how can I make this better for myself? How can I have a better experience on this material plane? You'll start to see that manifestation and changes truly, truly do happen. And the reason that I wanted to mention this quote was that if you are someone, who is experiencing a challenging time in your life, your emotions are all over the place, or the external environment has created a situation that's really heavy, or it's not working out for you, please try this. Combine the intention to heal with action and see that how slowly and gradually life starts to shift. And now we are moving on to our second one, which says awareness with compassion is crucial and powerful. without compassion, awareness becomes criticism of someone's character and choices. The reason that I picked this again, it's a really personal thing. In the last year, I have realized that how easy it is to fall into this trap of I know better. And without even realizing, sometimes, and especially when I talk to my clients, I see that a lot of us do that, that when we are trying, so we know stuff that is allowing our lives to become lighter and better. And we see somebody, especially a loved one, who is not on this side, who's not applying the tools, who's not applying the principles. And somewhere we find ourselves constantly judging them or rejecting their way of being, because we keep saying it to them that, hey, come, it's fun, and life is so much better. Everything is an experience. And when they have a different perspective towards life, we do tend to judge and criticize them. And when I have these situations, or when I'm talking to a client and they tell me that how they're trying to get their partner on meditation, or they're trying to get their partner to work on their emotions, and they're getting upset and they're frustrated, I had to jump in and remind them that, so what's happening here is that your partner is rejecting how you are approaching life, and you are rejecting how your partner is approaching life. It's a really, really easy trap to fall into. And I think with this quote, it's a great reminder that, wait a second, who are we? The Messiah complex, we'll save it. We'll save them. We'll help people. I think that one of my biggest toxic traits that I'm still working on today is that, oh, I can save people. Come, I'll help you. Come, I'll give you tools and techniques. And now, slowly and gradually, by the grace of God, I'm waking up to the idea that that's not how it works. Everything is perfect. The principle of the awakening, that nothing is missing and no judgment. When the time is right, people find light. They start. All we can do is put the information out there. So if you are someone who is having a little tough time getting your friends or your partners to start being more conscious or more aware, I think one of the greatest thing that you can do is live by example. Because once I started applying this quote into my life, that's what I started doing. I always remind myself, and always I think is a little bit of a stretch. There are times where I do forget, and then I have to catch myself doing that, judging how the other person is living their life. So I really, really invite you all, whoever is listening, to just take a moment, look around you, and see how much judgment and criticism we throw outside. Even if we are not saying it, we do think it. And our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts is something that's creating our life. And it's so, so important to be in acceptance at all times. So one of the home plays from today's Sidra's webinar, I really, really want to give to you all, is to sit down and see that, where do you guys have awareness but not compassion, awareness but not acceptance? You're aware of it, but you're refusing to accept it. Or when you approach the matter, the compassion is missing. So please give it a try and see, bring it to your awareness, that how we just sometimes think, and I think it's our ego at play as well. We sometimes think we know the best, we know it. And of course, because we are living it, and life truly, truly becomes so, so much easier when you stop, when you stop taking everything personal and understand that everything in life is an experience. There's no such thing as things for me. It's not happening to me personally. People, when somebody specific is saying something to me, it's just a reflection of themselves. Just bringing this awareness with compassion, you can truly, truly start to lift your life up and start feeling lighter and start feeling better. If you guys have any questions, and if you guys are following along, please do type it in the chat box. I will truly appreciate it. All right. So With this thing, actually, I wrote it down because I had a feeling I might not mention it. One of the greatest and most amazing tools, actually there are two tools. One is from Sidra, the other one is from Joe Vitality, who wrote the book called The Zero Point, but the idea was introduced to me by Sidra, so I always associate that with Sidra as well. When you are dealing with people who are sleeping and are not, I think sleeping, or have a different perspective towards life, or is approaching life differently. There is a great prayer that, Bajia Sidra taught me was, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Imagine that person is standing in front of you and you go, may you see the truth of who you are. May you receive love. And I promise you, you keep saying this to that person over and over again. You energetically keep sending this light to them. And you will see that eventually either you will master the art of acceptance and compassion, or their behavior will start to change. And I have practiced it. I always pass this message along to anyone who's dealing with a difficult person in their life, a challenging person in their life. This prayer works miracle. And I think that the whole road from awareness to acceptance truly becomes way more easier. The second thing that you can do is, as I mentioned, it is from Joe Vitality's book called The Zero Point. It's the idea about, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I forgive you. I think this prayer also does wonders. And again, in the last 3 years, the amount of time I have done this on people, it's unbelievable. Anytime anybody would, do something that I feel myself rejecting or judging, I just quickly go, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I forgive you. Initially, it felt like that it's not working, but slowly and gradually, I realized that I start to feel different in those situations, or the person genuinely starts to behave or start showing up the best version of themselves to me. And so please do try these two things. Again, I'm going to repeat the prayer if you want to write it down. The first one is, may you see the truth of who you are. May you receive love. The second one is that I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I forgive you. Ideally, you should do this for 40 days every time you think of that person. So if there is somebody, and you can even do this for somebody is having a challenging experience. I didn't want to use the word struggling, but if you see somebody who's not doing so well, or who's not approaching life in a specific way, please do give it a try and see that how amazingly your life starts to shift and how different they start to feel, look, behave. I truly believe that it's a miracle. All right. So third of Sidhu's quote that I really like and got reminded of in the past year was, time of great sorrow have the potential to become time of great transformation. With this quote, I have a really close relationship, because after I experienced grief in March 2020, I realized that I was becoming bitter. When Sidra was here in her physical body, as I said, she would keep a tap on us. She'd keep reminding us. And we were so active. We were having Zoom flows, and we were having symbology classes, and events and webinars. So we were always getting reminded of to be kind. And for me personally, she used to call me up and say, hey, my joy factor. And here I am, and here I was in 2020 being extremely bitter and angry, to the point that somewhere in Jan 2021, I believe, we were doing this first YouTube show, and the person who I was talking to was saying something about grief. And in that moment, and I clearly remember that moment, in that moment, I could tell you all the incidents where people have come to me and say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry you have lost your sister." And with all due respect and love to them. And in that moment, I thought, and it will follow up with something extremely silly. One of the persons, one of my really, really close friend came up to me and went like, "Hey, Zara, yeah, it's so bad that you have lost a sister. But you know what's going to make you feel better? Working out. If you lose weight, it's going to make you feel better." And for the longest time, it took me a while to get over it because it upset me so much. We are humans. And the reason that I'm sharing this is that a lot of times when we are on our awakening journey, we do have these little pulls and we don't want to experience them and we don't want to be that person. No, no, I'm not angry. you know, yeah, exactly. And later on, with awareness, I realized that, wait a second, it's number one, I do understand now when I look back that it's so difficult. People genuinely don't know. They want to feel the pain. They want to tell you that they're there, but sometimes, words are really, really tricky, and that's what was happening. And in that time of great sorrow, I find myself getting bitter. And I was a lot of things even before 2020. I could be a little bit lazy and a little bit stubborn, as SJ would say. But I know that I was never a bitter person. I was always a very flowy and it is what it is kind of a person. And then I found myself filling my heart with this sense of darkness, which was so extremely painful. And I was observing myself becoming that person. And then this quote, and while we were, we had to post every one quote every week, and I came across this one. And then I was like, oh my God, I am doing that. I'm filling myself with darkness. As Rumi also said, that, when there's an opening in the heart, either you can fill it up with light or you can fill it up with darkness. And and in that moment, filling my heart with darkness. So it is a gentle reminder again for anybody who is experiencing a challenging time, a difficult time. Please be aware, just do a little reading on yourself and see that, am I becoming better? Am I becoming lighter out of this experience? How am I approaching life? Do I find myself criticizing others a lot? Just be a little bit more mindful, because it's very sneaky, because that's what happened with me. I didn't even realize it when I become this person, a person who was actually reflecting her pain onto others. And it was everything against what our mentor and visionary has taught us. But all I'm trying to say is that we have to be so aware and on it, because it just wiggles in. Because we are experiencing pain and we see the other person feeling okay and living their lives. And something inside of us shifts, and and we start to find out what's wrong in their life. So please be aware of that, and try not to do that. All right. So the fourth quote that we are talking about it's actually from her book. And I think it is in the chapter called Everything is Energy, where she talks about that how our emotions are nothing but energy in motion. This idea has actually truly, truly helped me in the past year as well. Because now, when I'm feeling agitated or I'm having a human experience, which is on the lower scale of the pyramid of the frequency, I try to, and there are moments, again, because we are humans and we have to keep it real. There are moments I catch myself in the act that, oh my God, I could feel myself offloading that energy onto somebody else. Or I will catch it on time and I will either do ABC, which works wonders, by the way, or I will do EFT. These two have been my favorite tools. With ABC, now it has become such a easy thing to do that all I do is close my eyes, identify where that energy is living, breathe in, breathe out, give it a number, give it a color, and just release it. We are going to do a group ABC in about 1 minute. And I really, really invite you all to learn it and to apply this into your day-to-day life. If you haven't done it in a long time, and if you were a Sidra student, if you are a Sidra student, please do bring ABC back into your life. It really, really helps you to see even fear. Like, for example, there's a challenge in your life that you have to overcome, and it feels heavy, it feels restless, it feels it makes you feel agitated. You park that issue on the side and just work with energy. As Nikola Tesla very famously said, that if you truly, truly want to understand this world and how we work, understand in terms of frequencies, vibration, right? In terms of energy. And that's exactly what I did, and I'm inviting all of you to do. If you want to find out more, we will be doing a group ABC project, but if you want to find out more, in Sidra's book, The Awakening, you can find the specific chapter it's a paragraph actually on ABC. It's on page 37. Please, please never underestimate the power of accessing your body's consciousness and releasing it. Because life is happening for us, right? Things are going to trigger us, they are going to upset us, there are going to be good days, there are going to be difficult days. But I promise you that once you start becoming more aware of your energy, once you start becoming more aware of how you want your life to be or what kind of experiences you want to have, it just becomes a little lighter, I tell you. So even if it's something hard, you'll be like, it is what it is, and then move on with your life. I hope you guys enjoyed these quotes. As I mentioned earlier, that Sidra was a researcher, and she gave us a lot of amazing tools and amazing gifts. She did a lot of research, and one of her favorite tools that I actually have started looking into more and more nowadays is VBL, which is vibrational linguistic, where Sidra researched that how we can heal our lives by understanding the language of vibration. And how do we understand the language of vibration? For those of you who have been Sidra student, I'm sure that you guys are aware of it. This is just a gentle reminder for myself and for all of us that we truly, truly can master the language. And how do we master the language? I have shortlisted 4 things. It's a whole course that we are actually working on. And when I say working on, it takes a while, because it has given us so much. And what a beautiful mind she had, and the way she connected everything. There's so much that it becomes like an ocean. So it becomes a little harder for us to contain it into a course. So I try to use this into my one-to-one sessions a little more. But I've shortlisted these 4 things that comes under the umbrella of vibrational linguistic, that if you truly want to understand the language, you start using these tools and see that how different kind of experiences you start to have. So the first thing that we all should be aware of and be conscious of is the clothes life. Let's rephrase it a little bit. If you truly want to master your life, you have to be very aware and conscious of 4 things in your life. And these 4 things will also help you to understand the language of vibrations a little more. So the first thing you have to be very conscious and aware about is the air you breathe. The second thing that you will be very aware about is the thoughts you have. The third thing is the food you eat. And the fourth thing is the clothes you wear. So the first thing, the rule is becoming aware about the air you breathe. When she, there's a whole lot explanation that we will try to capture in the future and try to bring it all together. But just for now, and a very, very easy tip is, who you're spending your time with. Because everything is energy, and your thoughts Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for writing it down. So everything is energy. And when you are breathing the same air as someone who is experiencing, um, again, a dense situation or who is not feeling the best, right? Without even realizing, you tend to pick up because we are all energetic beings. People have researched about it that we do have an auric field around us, right? Which has our thoughts, our fears, and whatever we are experiencing just in the orbit and without even saying a word. And I would like to, with my client's permission, I would really like to share the story that one of my clients, she was in a sauna with her mother, and they both are my clients. So when the daughter came in, she was like, oh my God, I was sitting with my mom in the sauna. And even though she wasn't saying anything, I could feel this feeling from her, right? And and I was like, okay, you know what? It's your perception to reality. And we talked about it. We talked about this idea that about how important it is to be aware of what kind of air you're breathing. Anyways, 2 days later, the mother shows up and she tells me exactly the same thing. And I was just sitting and I was like, oh my God, you two need to talk because 2 days ago, your daughter said exactly the same thing to me. The mother comes in, she's like, oh, I have a feeling that she's on some substance because I could feel this icky feeling. So, what was happening in that moment? After we did ABC on both of them, we realized that what was happening is that they had some pent up emotions and feelings about each other. And without even saying it, they could feel it. It was just, I think it was my first case where I truly understand the power of how everybody else is just an energetic being and how we are passing on this energy. So again, just a reminder, be very, very mindful that where you're spending, who you're spending your time with, what kind of information is going in your head, because trust me, that does decide what kind of day you are going to have or what will you experience on that vibrational scale. The second thing is the thoughts you have. We all have to understand that a thought is a thought. In AAA, a really beautiful thing that they teach the people who are experiencing addiction is that even when you have a thought about drinking, don't feel bad. Just know that it's a thought. Don't act on it. So just being mindful of our thoughts and understanding, and I always use this example that start imagining your mind as a train station. Throughout the day, there will be trains coming and going, but you don't have to hop onto all of them. So sometimes I'll catch myself thinking thoughts that are not serving me. My insecurities will take over or will say something, and I'll be like, no, 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 wait a second. It's just a thought. And I'll tell you what, and it's a personal experience. I was almost about to get into an argument with one of my favorite people. And then I was like, and it was all because of the thoughts that I was having, right? And then I pulled myself back up and I was like, no, 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 it's a thought. I know where this train is going to end. It's going to make me feel horrible. It's going to make me feel lesser. And I'm not that person anymore, right? It's a memory. I've always in the past may have responded like that, and now I have this urge to respond in a similar manner. And so just being aware of your thoughts, understanding. I think Sidra used to use the example of cloud watching, that imagine that you're in the field and their clouds are just passing by. You don't have to focus on one, just allow these thoughts to pass by like clouds. You choose, the biggest thing that we forget, that it's a choice. You have to choose your thoughts. Even if you come up to me and tell me that, Zara, this is what's going on in my life, and it's a really, again, it's a horrible situation. Let's just be human for a second and then judge it and say, oh my God, it's so difficult and it's so hard. Then it's a thought, right? And I will say that allow it to just pass and think about something else. Choose to think about something else. Choose to think about healing. Choose to think about what food you just in that moment. Practice to distract yourself, and it always works 100%. All right, so let's talk about the clothes we wear. The reason that clothes are so important is because colors are really important, number one. And number two, because we do believe in the principle that energy is everything, and everything is energy, which means that our clothes pick up the energy, they absorb it. So when you were wearing a certain top and you were having a difficult time, you wear that top 2 weeks, after 2 weeks again, and you will start feeling a certain way. You'll start feeling even not bigger maybe, but a little bit of, "Ugh, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to experience this." And it is because the energy of that previous event, the emotion is still there. So please be aware of the clothes that you're wearing. Make sure that you have cleansed it, give it a new vibration, a new energy, and see how life shifts. Let's talk about colors. I personally don't apply it in my everyday life, but I do use this tool when there is something important or something that is stressing me out. So for example, if I want to go for a gathering that I don't feel very comfortable going in, or but I have to go, social obligations. So what I'm going to do is that the clothes that I'm going to pick will be according to colors. I will either pick green, to open up my heart chakra that day. I'll put the intention out there. Either I will wear purple, either I'll wear black if I want to hide. I'll wear, so I'll do that in my life. So I invite you all to do that. Again, it's just a gentle reminder. If you are not doing that, please do start doing that. Start consciously picking colors of your clothes. Start giving them intention that I'm wearing gray for creativity. I'm wearing brown for grounding. I when I was picking this top up, even though it's not very flattering, by the way, but the reason that I picked it because I knew that it's a little bit hard day for me today. I know that my emotions are going to be all over the place. I may do this webinar and then later on I may not feel the best. So I picked up this, so I constantly get reminded to be grounded, to just breathe a little and see how different I feel. The fourth one is the food we eat. Uh, again, everything is energy. So the person who's cooking your food is angry and you eat that food, you start to feel that way. You start to feel sick. And a lot of times, I think one time when Sidra actually introduced this to me, she used this example about daughter-in-laws and mother-in-laws. She was like, oh my God, the daughter-in-law would come and be like, I don't know why my mother-in-law is always sick. And then Sidra would ask them that, so who cooks for them? And the daughters would be like, oh, we do. And Sidra would ask them that, what are you thinking when you're cooking the food? And most of the time, the answer would be, oh, why do I have to do this? And why am I stuck in this situation? And I wish they go away from our lives. So you're constantly, they're putting these thoughts in the food, and that food, when people are consuming it, of course, they're feeling all agitated, upset, more angry. I'm not saying that that's entirely the case, but I can assure you that food does contribute. If that's why there are a lot of prayers across the religions as well. Muslims do it, Hindus do it, Sikhs do it, Christians do it. They take a moment just before consuming food and they say out a prayer. The idea is to actually cleanse it from all the energy. When we post this webinar, we'll post all these prayers in the comment section. So please do, if you want the prayer on food, how to cleanse the food that was gifted to us by Sidra, please do check out the replay, and we'll put that because we're running out of time. So I'm just going to put it under the comment section or in the description section when I repost it. All right, everybody. So I hope that these 4 quotes and these 4 rules from VBL help you to truly start becoming more aware and more conscious into your life. I have realized that the best way that to deal with my grief is to become more aware, to become more conscious, and continue her work. She always used to say that she wants to change lives of 3.9. People, I'm sure that if you are a student of Sidra, you must have remembered this. She was very big on that. Because So what I did was, and initially I was trying to carry that idea on, by the way, and I realized that, oh my God, I reek of desperation. And then and then I become aware and I become conscious. And now my mantra is that we are just changing one life at a time. We are just going to focus on that one person's world. We're going to help them, change them, make them feel more awakened and more conscious with these tools. And I think that with Sidra's, me, the biggest struggle, and which to this day I have to constantly remind myself, is the principle knowing versus owning. For most of you, the information that I laid out today is not new information. But the real question is that when was the last time you actually used these tools? When was the last time where you actually were conscious and aware and knowing that how we are all energetic beings and how people around us are constantly picking up our energy, right? And it's shaping our day, which shapes our weeks, our months, our life. And then we're going to look back and be like, it's life wasted. So I think that please do try and master this principle, knowing versus owning. And even if you're not applying and you're aware of it, we please be okay with having free passes. There will be times and moments, nobody's perfect. And I always say this, that I sit here, even in my workplace, give such big bhashans and lectures, how to be more aware and how to be more conscious. But when I go back to my mundane life, I have a lot of things that I need to constantly work on till this day, because I'm prone to it. And it's very easy for me to stress myself out. And I know people who are close to me will vouch for it, that how actually easy it is for me to slip. And then I have to bring myself back up. So we all do that. We are all work in progress. Please do understand that. And a lot of times people say that, oh, Zara, it feels like I take one step forward and two step back when I'm working on my awakening journey, or when I'm working, applying the tools. And I always say that, I have done worse. So don't be disheartened. Just consistency is the key here. Just keep applying it. Pick one tool. If you think you are growing out of that, pick the another one. There's so many things that our visionary has gifted us that we can try. All right, everybody. So we are almost up our time, but we have two really, really important things. Number one, we would like to do a group ABC. Number two, we will be playing Sidra's meditation, Receiving Love. The reason that I picked that meditation up is that I believe that sometimes when we are on this journey of awakening, we forget to approach ourselves with love, and we forget it. And we criticize ourselves, we become a little bit hard on ourselves. And that again reflects within us, on because we're feeling a certain way, it reflects on the people that we surround ourselves with. So I think this meditation is just, and the good thing about this meditation that I really like is that you don't have to plan it, sit down, just 6 minutes long. It's nothing. You plug it in, you listen to it, and you'll start to feel a whole lot different. All right, so are we ready for the ABC process? Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. So can I please get all of you, to close your eyes? Take a deep breath in from your nose and a breath out from your mouth. And just relax. Focusing on your breathing will help you to quieten your mind. So just relax and just become fully present in your body, and then scan your body for me and identify any part of your body that's feeling heavy, restless, or is storing any energy that you want to release. And bring all your awareness, all your attention to that part of your body. Now rate that feeling from 0 to 10. 0 meaning there is nothing there, and 10 meaning it's extreme. Now give it a color, and slowly and gradually, with the help of breathing, and using your mind's eye. Breathe in from your nose and breathe out from your mouth. And as you're breathing, just visualize this color, this feeling is slowly and gradually leaving your body and is standing in front of you. As you sense, feel that energy outside of you now, slowly and gradually imagine that energy is taking a shape of a person. If this feeling could remind you of someone, whose name comes to your mind? Just imagine that person is standing in front of you and you say to them, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And I forgive you. With love, I am declaring all contracts, agreements, promises that I made with myself, with you, or anyone else that keeps me in pain. I declare it all complete. I am happy. You are happy. I'm free. You are free. Thank you. Now take a deep breath in from your nose and a breath out from your mouth. Take a deep breath in again and a breath out. And keeping your eyes closed, I want you all to imagine that you are standing in a place of worship. Any place that makes you feel very close to God or the source or the universe. And slowly and gradually start imagining that that space is getting filled up with this beautiful light. And that light starts to surround you, starts to come closer to you. And slowly and gradually, it starts to enter from the top of your head. You know how when you take a shower, the water flows on the outside. This light is flowing inside. It enters your mind, runs down your neck, your shoulders, your arms, goes towards your heart center, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, to your root, towards your knees, and all the way down to the tip of your toes. Every nerve, every fiber, every cell in your body is bathing in this beautiful light of surrender, of faith, of peace. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. Take a deep breath in and a breath out. And now, whenever you're ready, slowly and gradually, you can open your eyes. And welcome back. Amazing. So it's really, really simple. I did the easiest version of it. I find this so simple. Identify give it a number, give it a color, release it, say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I forgive you. I think it's the easiest and the quickest way to do it. We were literally done in like 3 minutes. So please do make it a very normal practice, for this upcoming year, ABC, make it that go-to tool. You can of course mix and match that up with either EFT or other tools, but I think ABC is really, really amazing. All right, everyone. So this is time for Sidra's meditation now, which is receiving love. After we are done the meditation, we'll declare the webinar complete, but we will open the floor for anybody who would like to share something or their experiences or anything wise that Sidra has taught them. I would love to hear from you all. So let's get ready for a meditation. If you want to drink water, please go ahead and do it. This is the time. And let's go. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out, and here we go.
Sit back and relax. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing. Focusing on your breathing helps you to quieten your mind. Just relax. And now, just hold the intention in your mind that you are ready to receive love and release any barriers that are currently blocking you. And with that intention, you feel so relaxed. You feel so loved. And just imagine a wonderful wave of relaxation is starting from the top of your head, all the way down to the tip of your toes. So every nerve, every fiber, every cell in your body is bathing in this wonderful wave of relaxation. You are fully relaxed and ready to allow love in your life. Breathing and feeling loved, that you start to sense a gentle connection between your mind, your body, and your spirit. And your mind becomes so open and receptive, learning a new way of being, inviting all help, all support from the entire universe to help you release all these obstacles. And now, just imagine that you have become very small. In your mind's eye, imagine yourself shrinking down, just becoming really small, so small that you can actually move from your mind's eye, walking down the steps that lead you from your mind to your heart. And as you reach the front door of your heart, you can sense, see, feel, or hear the door is locked. Luckily, you have the key in your hand. You put the key in and open the door. As soon as you open the door of your heart, you feel this wonderful warm and fuzzy feeling all over your body, as if your heart was waiting for you. You decide to enter your heart with love. Just step into your heart and look around. Sense, how does your heart feel? No matter how your heart feels right now, at this point, you have the power to change it. Fill your heart with love, compassion, ease and flow. Just infuse your heart with pure love, Give it a color. Give it a feeling. Make it brighter from the inside of your heart. Feel the vibrations of love now going out of your heart and touching all of your loved ones. Just imagine the waves of love are coming out of your hand and going to the people you love the most. And as it touches their energy, feel the love coming back to your heart 10 times more. And you feel the flow, giving love and receiving love. Giving love and receiving love. Bask in this wonderful moment. Exchange of love. Just breathe in this feeling of receiving love from the entire universe. You know that you are loved. And whenever you feel you require love, you can just wonderfully breathe a few times and come back to this moment where you feel your heart fully open, infusing it with love. And as you breathe in love, receiving love. And as you breathe out representation of giving love. Just take a few deep breaths in, receive love, and out, give love. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly and gradually come back to a more alert space. Or if you want, you can just carry on being rested and become alert in your own time.
One of my favorite and most powerful meditations. Look how quick this was and how beautiful it is. Please feel free to share your experiences around it, how you are feeling right now. It is my absolute honor and pleasure to host this webinar today. I honestly, nothing gives me more pleasure to this move, taking her work forward. I have seen tremendous amount of change in my life. In the past year, through Sidra's tool, I was able to host our first soul spa, our first awakening. We have been hosting, meditation classes every month. We have been hosting different webinars every month. And I see all of those also who have been working really, really hard to get the message across. A great shout out to, of course, Nimesh. Mary Reed is here. I know Soni Bharani was doing yoga. I know Activating Body Harmony is taking Sidra's work forward as well. And along with all of us, there's so many people who still continue to spread the message of the awakening. The mission remains the same. It's the idea about helping whoever we can and leaving them better than we found them. For today, for this webinar, this is Sidra Jafri signing off for now. You can find all the information that you need. Even if you want to meditate more on Sidra's meditation, you can go on our website, keylightcenter.com. You can access Conscious Wisdom Library, where you will see we have uploaded quite a bit of her meditations. If you want to know more about Sidra, there's a whole different tab on there called Our Visionary, where we just explain most of Sidra's work. As I said, it's like an ocean. There's so much information. And it has been a little bit of a challenge for us to contain it, to organize it, but we are not losing hope and we are moving forward with ease and grace. With much love, this is Zara signing off for now, and until we meet again.